Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Chan, and I'm the host of Changing Minds Film Fridays with Community Access. Changing Minds is a unique storytelling program that uses film as a path toward promoting positive dialogue about mental health among young people and their peers. We have received over 3,000 film submissions from 88 countries around the world. Many of these films are available to view on our YouTube channel at communityaccess.org/Changing Minds channel. And a link to our discussion guide is also available there if you are interested in sharing films and having a dialogue about mental health. And as part of this initiative, we also have a weekly discussion series called Film Fridays. And I'm really excited to be your host for today's Q&A with Haolang Li, who created the film Lipstick on a Leopard. Hello.
Hi.
So first off, just please tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Beijing, China, and yeah, I'm now currently studying in NYU Tisch Film and Television Production. Yeah.
Cool. And I know you mentioned this film, you already created it several years ago, but what inspired you to create this film? Was it also for like a school project?
It's actually for the NYU portfolio
Oh,
submitting.
I see.
So yeah, I created this film during grade 10 to 11, and it was I like the entire process is about like 3 to 4 months. And what inspired me of creating this film is actually a story like my grandmother. Like she's a big fan of Peking opera, and it's a very traditional artistic form. And one thing specific, like interestingly about Peking opera is that the characters, the actors seeing the opera when I was really young, I noticed that they're having like a really high pitch of like singing style of sing, which is like hee, hee. Like I don't know
Mm.
how to like sing, but that actually requires a lot of practice. But also in China, there's a structural definition for like for the pitch of people's sound. That's really weird, but like uh traditionally, according to social norm, we are like male people are having like a relatively low pitch like this, and female are having like a high pitch. So in China, we are kind of like more sensitive to such phenomena because I live in a relatively constrained and traditional family in China, and people uh and also in school, people with uh male people with high pitched sounds will be characterized as effeminate or sissy. So yeah, that's kind of like a cultural setting for this film. And one thing I also notice about is there's a character in Peking opera called Jin Qianbao, which is character which is could be like could be translated to leopard. This figure is a the antagonist in that story, and that represents certain kind of masculinity because he actually is a leader of an army, a kind of army. So I feel like the way the actor is performing this, and the way that this character is like this character should be a masculine figure, but he's singing in such a high pitched sound. So when I was really young, that actually like challenged me a lot because I find this very conflicting. So when I was in high school, I was trying to make a short film. I dig down into my childhood memories, and I get this kind of idea of make telling a story of a audition scene of a homosexual character whose performance is not authentically masculine and is characterized as effeminate. So that is kind of like a inauthentic representation of the leopard characters, and I think, huh, what could happen? That could be like really interesting. So that is how this film is inspired. Yeah. I want to like talk about some topics about like gender, and also because during that time feminism is a huge topic, And from my perspective of a straight male, especially an Asian male, I feel like no matter it's heterosexual or homosexual male, we are not represented enough in the international stage. So yeah, I feel like shooting this kind of theme could like stand out from all other applicants, or I don't know, like because there's some certain kind of a cultural background from this, and you know, it's a relatively traditional setting on a uh Peking opera stage, and that's kind of like a challenging the traditional settings. And I think yeah, that's how I decided to create this film. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so beautifully shot, and I love the way you kind of cut between like the reality of the audition and kind of depicting the psychological state of the main character with like his childhood memories. What was kind of the creative process like behind that?
So yeah, there's certain kind there was a section of the film where the setting is kind of surreal, where he looks back into his memory with his friends, with his family. That it's a like a flashback section, and um the creative process is like that. I feel like using the technique of flashing back that could like uh recall some of his own memories. Although like right now, I there's a little flag. I this little like I think I told to myself that I don't want to use flashing back anymore in my future films because yeah, that looks so like I don't know immature, or I don't know, like there's always some like other ways to tell the background stories, the memories of a character, but I won't regret my usage of like this flashback or surreal scene in this film because I it's my first film, and it's a 5 minutes long, so maybe like flashing back is the like is the only way of telling his story out. So yeah, that's my thinking process.
I thought it was still very effective. Like the way you shot it was very unique. So it wasn't just like a flashback. It was like kind of a look into his psyche. You kind of already touched on some of the themes in your film, but if you could speak more on what are some of the themes about mental health that your film shares?
Oh yeah, I think that is depression. I think if if we are talking about mental health, it is depression because in Chinese society, in Chinese setting, uh although many of our own special traits are not really accepted because, for example, like his own preferences of his pitching and his maybe we can infer his homosexuality. He is not a character that is willing to conform to the wish of the society. So, but actually, the society is oppressing his real identity, and he is not accepted. So that is the cause of the depression. And I also, during the flashback section, there's some childhood trauma that is causing the depression. Like yeah, that that was in his unconscious, and when the audition is happening, some memories is like floating to the conscious level, and he is uh going to make a decision of whether going he's going to accept himself or not. And finally, as we can see in the film, he decide uh to accept his real self. Yeah, that is kind of like a mental health topic I want to touch.
Yeah. And so since you made a film kind of like touching on that topic, why do you think that film is a good vehicle for kind of discussing mental health?
No, I think film is definitely a perfect vehicle for discussing mental health because first of all, storytelling wise, film can arise film can arise sympathy from the audiences. We are emotionally connected with the audiences, even if the audiences is not experiencing the same life with the characters with the story, but the audiences, because we are people, we can feel the same way. So because we can feel the same way, the audiences can understand the reason for mental health better and by experiencing the story of the characters. And secondly, the surreal scenes is actually like a it's a it's a sort of uh perfect representation of the perspective of a person that is suffering from the mental health. For example, they can actually see the flashbacks through the visual effects of the film, and we can so the audiences can experience the world as same as those with mental health disorder. So that can also help the audiences to understand the mental health issues better. And also the reason why I think film is a great vehicle is that people with uh real mental health problem who suffered during their life, they are having a stronger personal voice comparing to me. They will be having a stronger personal voice toward these mental health topics. The stories they write, the the story is going to like convey real emotions. They will the story is going to be more believable, and that's going to be deeper. So I feel like the creators who really suffered from those mental health problems is going to express themselves better through films. And thirdly, like I feel like film is itself a solution to mental health, because like I want to tell an interesting story, because like my character, his name he's in Beijing right now, and after performing in this film, he said to me in person that like thank you, and I said why, because like he when he was in his childhood, he was actually bullied by his brother, and he himself is actually suffering the approximately same situation with the character in this film. So after performing this we shot this film in 1 day. So after performing this, learning, oh, but like during the pre-production, me and him, we went to a Peking opera. Like we went to find a teacher teaching him how to sing this opera, and then we were on set, and after 1 day, it's a really long day, and he said to me like he at that time he feel like he accepted himself more than before. So he said like thank you to me, and 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 at that moment I feel like yeah, that's the beauty of film. That's the beauty uh of performing. Yeah, he's not performing another person's life, but he's performing himself. So yeah, that those like three reasons are why I think film is a great vehicle for mental health. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool because you could tell that it kind of like personally resonated with him as well.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, like you kind of touched on it already a little bit, but like there is a lot of like mental health stigma that still exists in society. So like how can filmmaking and storytelling kind of like help to break that down to like other people?
Mm-hmm. I think one of the major um cause of psychological disorders, one of the major cause is that we people's identity and our wills are depressed by the social norms and uh, the public opinions. We are always we don't treat ourselves that well, because if we treat us that well, no one like no matter it's our friends, no matter it's our lovers, no matter it's our families, uh, no one except us can influence our emotions and psychological state. So, like from my opinion, like in the modern society, we are actually prone to that kind of influence from other people. So I think that that is one of the major influence and cause of mental health problems. There is a an overarching cultural power in the society, which including social norms, we can't actually change that kind of a overarching mindset, the structural thing. We can't actually change it because that exists in our society. But here comes the real use of like real beauty of film. Like uh we can tell people that such overarching cultural power is in existence, and we should be aware of that. By telling those stories, people can see those stories, so they will be aware of these overarching cultural powers. So I think that is how film can help with this issue, including like some stereotypes about people. Films can through to, storytelling we can tell like from we can like dig it from the original source and let the audience know the ridiculousness of these cultural powers. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I feel like that really comes through in like your storytelling and your film. Which is it's such a great film. It was really, really interesting. What are some of your like hopes for the future? Are you working on anything next? I know you mentioned this was already a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What have you been working on recently?
Yeah. Like for this film, when it was like I just submitted it to through like film freeway, that
Mhm.
film festival portal.
Right.
And the second, like, it was like last year, and I found like, oh, what's like John sent me this email about this, and I feel, oh, wait, what? This film got selected for by the like Changing Minds Film Festival. So I was really surprising and also like kind of anxious because for now, I don't really like the way I tell stories and the way I like shoot this film when I was like 4 years ago. I feel like I improved a lot. I fixed some of my problems, and from now I see this film as it's my first production and I cherished it, but it's not me doing my best. So I'm planning to. Oh yeah, and from now, like between this period of time, I also get like 3 to 4 productions, and I feel like it's gradually becoming better. But from now, I'm currently a freshman in NYU Film and Television, and I'm in my winter recession session, winter holiday, and I'm planning to shoot another film. Like I've already finished my script. It's about the it's about a story between two childhood friends meeting again in New York City. And what I'm doing now is more like telling the stories of myself, because for that film, the Lipstick on a Leopard, uh it's it's the way of creating it, the logic behind is actually researching about other people's stories, like knowing the depression emotions that like homosexual persons people are having. And like after researching about their stories about their mental health state, I told the story of Lipstick on a Leopard. And after my first semester of studying in NYU, I attended a class called First Person Narratives, which is basically like on dive deep down into your childhood memories and to find some really cool ideas about like how are you constructed. So I decided to like tell some of my own stories completely. And so I write this script about the childhood friend meeting again in New York City. And it's going to be about like 15 minutes long, and I'm going to shoot it uh in within 3 days before the second semester in NYU. And yeah, that's my plan for now. Mhm.
Wow. Well, I'm super excited to see it. Is there somewhere people can like find you to see your projects?
People can find me through Vimeo. They can search me through my name, Haolang Li,
Mm.
but I haven't like post enough things on Vimeo. I feel like yeah, I'm way too immature right now, and I'm trying to like publish some some of my own films after I really feel like it could be published and watched by other people. But I don't know. I feel like I should be posting my works to more people so that they can give me advices, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I for your first film, I thought this was already super impressive. Like looking at your credits, you did a lot of the things by yourself as well, like the directing and sound editing, like incredible, honestly.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. Yeah, everyone make sure to go check out Lipstick on a Leopard. It's on our YouTube channel and go check out How Long's Vimeo. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.